Welcome to History Facts and Mysteries. Valentine's Day, celebrated worldwide with flowers, chocolate, and heartfelt messages. But where do these traditions come from? Today, we'll dive into some of the most fascinating legends and myths surrounding this romantic day, exploring stories of love, sacrifice, and mystery. If you're intrigued by the past, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to keep up with our fascinating historical journeys. Now, let's uncover the legends behind Valentine's Day. The legend of Saint Valentine. Heart and arrow. The story of Saint Valentine is perhaps the most well-known legend associated with the holiday. As with many historical figures, the true identity of Saint Valentine remains somewhat of a mystery, and historians still debate who he truly was. In fact, there are several Valentines recognized by the Catholic Church, each with their own story. One popular version centers on a Christian priest named Valentine who lived in the Roman Empire during the reign of Emperor Claudius II. Claudius, wanting to strengthen his army, banned young men from marrying, believing that soldiers without families would be more dedicated to their duties. But Valentine, who was a priest, defied this decree and secretly performed marriage ceremonies for young couples in love. When Emperor Claudius discovered Valentine's defiance, he sentenced him to death. But that's not where the story ends. During his imprisonment, Valentine is said to have befriended the jailer's daughter, who was blind. Through his prayers, she miraculously regained her sight, and before his execution, Valentine is said to have sent her a letter signed, "From your Valentine." This is said to be the origin of the romantic note we now associate with Valentine's Day cards. The legend of the lovebirds and the start of mating season. Another legend that is often connected to Valentine's Day is the belief that birds begin to pair up for the mating season on February 14th. This romantic notion is thought to date back to medieval England, where people believed that this date marked the beginning of the springtime mating rituals of birds. By extension, it was thought that February 14th was the ideal day for lovers to express their affection for each other. Shakespeare, in his famous play A Midsummer Night's Dream, even mentions this idea, which further cemented the association of Valentine's Day with the pairing of lovers. Whether or not birds actually begin mating on this day remains a mystery, but the idea has certainly stuck over time. In fact, even in the modern era, Valentine's Day cards often feature images of lovebirds, reinforcing the idea that February 14th is a day to celebrate love in all forms. The legend of the Valentine's Day lottery game. As Valentine's Day evolved into a celebration of love and romance, another popular legend grew in 14th and 15th century England. It was said that young men and women would draw names from a box to determine who would be their Valentine for the year. This was known as the Valentine's Day lottery, and it was a popular custom in villages and towns across England. The lottery wasn't always about romantic love. Sometimes, it was just a fun, light-hearted tradition that allowed people to meet someone new or strengthen a friendship. However, in some versions of the story, the lottery did lead to couples falling in love. In fact, many scholars believe this custom may have been a precursor to the more modern tradition of exchanging Valentine's Day cards. The idea of a lottery or chance pairing is still alive today in the form of secret Valentines, where people exchange gifts and cards anonymously, adding a layer of mystery to the holiday. The Valentine's Day rose legend. Roses, especially red ones, have long been associated with love and romance, but the connection between roses and Valentine's Day has its roots in a fascinating legend. According to one tale, the goddess Venus, the Roman goddess of love, was so enamored by the beauty of a rose that she made it the symbol of love. But in another version of the story, Venus's rival, the goddess Juno, is said to have turned the rose's white petals red in a fit of jealousy. In both stories, the rose becomes a symbol of passionate love, and it's no surprise that it is now the most common flower exchanged on Valentine's Day. The idea of a rose as a gift of love is rooted in centuries of mythology, and it continues to be the ultimate gesture of affection for couples all over the world. The Saint Valentine's massacre myth. Cooking knife. A darker side of Valentine's Day legends emerges in the form of the infamous Saint Valentine's massacre, which occurred not on February 14th, but on Saint Valentine's Day in 1929. This tragic event took place in Chicago and involved the brutal murders of 7 members of the North Side Italian gang, orchestrated by Al Capone's rivals. Although the massacre itself is a historical event, it became a part of Valentine's Day lore due to the connection with the holiday's name. Some people jokingly refer to this massacre as the Saint Valentine's Day Massacre, using it as a backdrop for tales of love gone wrong. The event has since been immortalized in films and pop culture, cementing its place as one of the most infamous events associated with February 14th, even though it has little to do with the true spirit of the holiday. The myth of the Valentine's Day card industry love letter. Another fascinating story is the rise of the Valentine's Day card industry. The tradition of sending handwritten love letters or notes on Valentine's Day goes back centuries, but it wasn't until the 19th century that the commercial card industry really took off. In the 1840s, a woman named Esther Howland began selling mass-produced Valentine's Day cards in the United States, and her company quickly grew into a multi-million-dollar business. But what many people don't know is that Howland's success was aided by the advent of cheaper paper production methods, which allowed for cards to be sold at affordable prices. Howland's cards, adorned with lace and intricate designs, became highly popular, and today, Valentine's Day cards are a multi-billion-dollar industry worldwide. The myth of the heart-shaped box chocolate. No Valentine's Day would be complete without chocolates, and for many, the iconic heart-shaped box of chocolates is the ultimate gift. But the origin of the heart-shaped chocolate box is steeped in myth. One story credits Richard Cadbury, the founder of the Cadbury Company, with popularizing the heart-shaped box of chocolates in the late 19th century. It is said that Cadbury wanted to create a unique, romantic packaging for his chocolates, and thus the heart-shaped box was born. While the true origins of the heart-shaped box may never be known for sure, the story of its creation is just another example of how commercial forces have shaped the modern celebration of Valentine's Day. What was once a romantic gesture has evolved into a symbol of consumerism, but it's still a symbol of love. Conclusion. The legends live on Red Heart. From the story of Saint Valentine's sacrifice to the customs and myths that have arisen around February 14th, the legends of Valentine's Day are as rich and varied as the holiday itself. While the true origins of Valentine's Day may never be fully understood, one thing is clear: love has always been at the heart of the celebration. Whether it's the exchange of roses, the sending of cards, or the playful Valentine's Day lottery, the stories and myths of Valentine's Day continue to captivate us and remind us of the enduring power of love. Thank you for joining us today on History Facts and Mysteries as we delved into the legends of Valentine's Day. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Share your favorite Valentine's Day legend in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think.